Left your house this morning about 8:45. Could have been the Willie Nelson, could have been the one. When I left your house this morning, it was a little loud tonight. It was in Caucasian. I saw the constellations reveal themselves one star at a time. Drove back to town this morning with working on my mind. I thought I may be quitting, thought of leaving it behind. Went back to bed this morning as I'm pulling down the blind. Yeah, the sky was dull and hypothetical and falling one cloud at a time. That night in Toronto, with the checkerboard floors, riding on horseback and keeping order restored till the men they couldn't hang stepped to the mic and sang, and their voices rang with that Aryan twang.
We will be getting into the show proper in just a moment. The ogre must get his stone on. Hi, Mr. Stonely, and welcome, Diesel Dempsey.
Couldn't get you off my mind. So I'm at your house this morning, just a little out tonight. It was in Caucasian, where I saw the constellations reveal themselves one star at a time. See your lips and I wonder who's been kissing them. I never knew how badly I was missing them. We both know we're never gonna make it, but when we touch, we never have to fake it. Here we go again.
I got to do it, man. I got to go there. I have to talk to you all right now about the things I already talked about today on Ogre Rides. And, Ogre Kills was actually the name of it today. Oh, man, I do love this tune, but we'll cut her off right there and come together and reason with each other. Hell, I've had people just ran away. So I'm going to jump right into it. If you ain't here, you ain't here. If you come later, you come later. You either get it or you don't. Oh, well. Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little rib. No, and but if you got the link, I would love to see the story to that. And Stonely, it's funny, man. It's just funny how life works. It's funny that the gurus, that the most profound influences that happen to wander and meander aimlessly and sometimes recklessly into our lives so often come wrapped in the most odd gift paper you can imagine. The worst thing in the world we could ever do is to assume that what we see is what we get. I mean, we have a saying for that. Let's not judge a book by its cover. But yeah, I bet no disrespect, just a funny joke. If you took offense, well, sir, one can only take offense. Offense can never be given, or at least so said the great, inimitable, and immortal Winston Churchill. And I happen to agree with that sentiment. Well, today we're drinking some Woodbridge, some Robert Mondavi Woodbridge Cabernet Sauvignon 2017. It's not terrible. It's only $6 a bottle. It's not terrible. I'm drinking it because, and this gets me right into my rant. Please share this, if you will. Thank you so much, everyone, for liking it. I appreciate it. I don't even have a thumbs down yet today. It makes me feel not very ogre-like. Anyway, the reason I'm drinking this Woodbridge today is this is the Cabernet Sauvignon I use to deglaze the pan with my 6 half breasts, my 3 filleted breast of wood pigeon. Oh, in that pan, my mouth's watering already again. It's a strange feeling in some ways that I get when I eat. I mean, a man must have a hard heart. I mean, Diesel Dempsey, Mr. Stonely, we must have a hard heart to be men. I for years, I would forego the chore of killing what I was going to eat. It was not that long ago that I began to explore this new thing. And today, if you watch that video, I'm breathing hard. My hands are shaking a little bit as I tear those doves apart. I just got done hunting. I was looking at live things through my sight. And maybe others grow accustomed or grow numb to this, okay? But I do not. I look at the birds when they lay there. I feel my forefathers saying from the deserts of old, from Mesopotamia, saying, oh, look at this beautiful quail that gave its life that we could eat. And I never take it for granted. I understand that I make a choice to kill a beautiful thing that has life. It's sentient and understands. Well, not sentient, maybe going too far, okay? Because I don't believe that these creatures understand death or they have instincts, but I don't want to get too far off. I do want to relay this feeling with you. As I was there and my fingers are in the blood and the feathers stuck to me, and I'm honestly ripping muscle masses out of an animal, the muscle groups that I want to eat, the breast in this case. And I tell you what, folks, that's how I get over things quickly. That's one of my methods. Holland Wood's another. As men, it wasn't too terribly long ago that if we had a disagreement with each other, I mean, there'd really not be too many ways to solve it. You could basically try to kill each other. And that's about it. It really is about it. So look, I'm gonna go for a short time. I was gonna go off and go crazy, but I don't know. I have a feeling that it's a combination of things. But a lot of the times my friends just don't show up. I mean, many people tell me they don't get their notices. They have to be searching YouTube and say, oh, look, Ogre's on. That's not fair to either one of us, especially if the person is in the position to actually watch something from myself or MCJK or the Britisher or any number of people. You might have your notices on for the Hard Bastard, or you could have H.A. Goodman up. You might have Fox News or MSNBC. You could have any number of things chosen. I don't care what you want to listen to or watch. I don't care. I hope that it's out there, though. That's what I care about. I care about a plethora, about a multiplicity of sources, of many, 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 many angles that information comes from. Do I always partake in it? No, I'm not going to go back into it as I did yesterday. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I have decided one thing. If you didn't notice, I just kind of gave off a little list. I've decided that for a long time, I've been stifling myself. That's how I first met the Britisher. I was stifling myself from mentioning anything. I will never forget the day I came home and it was like, someone gave me a shameless plug. And it was the Britisher. And he didn't kill video. I don't know if it's still up. Knowing him, he may have taken it down. But you know what? I'm over being so butthurt. How you doing, Vash? I'm over being so butthurt about things that I'm not going to mention names, or so worried that someone in the future wouldn't, no kind of synergy or no kind of one hand washes the other. I'm over that. Part of the problem too, Vash, I'm sitting here crying and complaining to Mr. Stonley and Diesel Dempsey about, there being two people here. And the fact of the matter is, I didn't even really, I tweeted it out. I hate Twitter. Nobody likes me on Twitter. I didn't even put this on my own Discord. Discord it's a good place. It is a cool place. It's a good place to connect. Some folks, not you, Vash, but some folks have like tons of rules, and it's like you do this and whatever. And then there's places like yours, though, Vash, where it's like, well, if you want to put something here, it's not the right place, and then you like move it for them instead of bitching at somebody. You just move it for them. Let's see here. I'm gonna send this out to a couple folks. I'm not gonna be here too long. I really want to make this short and sweet. I'll probably go back like I did yesterday and maybe glean the good parts out of it and repost them as its own little video. This method, though, I mean, when I heard MCJK on Sharadi's channel talking about, he was being very honest, very transparent, very, very honest. And he was saying that he was happy to have this platform and that he appreciated, and he just got struck down for like 12, 14 hours. No one still knows why, just got struck down. And so he's saying, hey man, I'm glad to have this platform. I appreciate it. He was showing appreciation to YouTube, after this ban hammer they dropped on him. It's crazy in some ways, but in other ways, we should all strive to be realistic. I guess I'm saying this a lot. Hey, Captain Copa, how you doing, brother? I guess I'm saying this a lot of the reason I'm mentioning this is because yesterday I got a comment. I'll just read it to you. I appreciate it. I did a extemporaneous rant yesterday, as I'm gonna get to. I'm gonna smoke some more pot. Believe me, a couple more people get here. We're gonna get right into the rant proper. But Matt says, I am digging the slightly more controversial ogre. It's a good character / stick for you, man. Gets you more in your element. Angry, critiquing ogre is best ogre. And I really appreciated that comment. I appreciated the compliment. But then I thought, well, does that mean that I could only be an asshole? And it was like, no, look, don't overthink it, ogre. This guy's telling you that you came up. If I didn't, too, the internet would tell me. And I don't mean like people that are so latched on to somebody, because I mentioned Sofane, Razor Fist, and I wasn't really flattering with everything I said about a lot of these people. But what I was very, very honest, and said what I think. And when I hear, I mean, I know MCJK. I know he's got not a lot of love for H.A. Goodman, who is one of my favorite people on the internet. He's right up there with MCJK. But he watches him because he's commenting on him all the time. And I know he's really commenting on him because I just watched him too. And it was, he brings up the topic. Yeah, Cole Pile, I hope everything's going well for you, man. Mrs. Ogre and I, we have a little list of people that when we do our meditation, we think about, and at least I do, and you're one of them. Excuse me. I always say me and Mrs. Ogre because I'm the head of the household, but it's just me. She has her own list of things. But anyway, you're on that list, and I hope the best for you, sir. I really do. Always. So where was that? I'm still smoking pot, man. You get high. I'm going to get high. Oh, yeah, no worries. Well, and the reason I do it, though, Captain Cole, I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of selfish. It's because I assume that you do that for me. And the person that we talk to, the being that we talk to, I honestly believe that when he sees two people that are like asking for good things for the other one, you know what I mean? I think he does things more exponentially. I don't know how to really put it because I don't know God. I don't. And I even mealy mouth as I am now, and I will continue. This is not a religious channel, okay? I am the preacher, man. It says right here on my shirt. See? Right there on my shirt. My company. My old company. Everybody knew me by no one. That's what everybody called me. It wasn't fully a joke. Some people would refer to me as the dope smoking preacher, man. To become positive mental attitude, one must learn to lie to themselves and others. Man, this is good already. I haven't read it, but this is good already. Let me start again. This is probably going to be some very wise, good wisdom right here. To become positive, to be in a positive mental attitude, one must learn to lie to themselves and others. For instance, when asked how I'm doing, I have one answer: super. But if you lie long enough, you do become super. And I just was speaking to a really good friend of mine today. I finally saw him after about a month. And the last time I saw them, I read him the riot act. I was very blunt and honest with him, the way I want to be. But here's the simple fact. I shouldn't have been. Hey, Tim Tarbox, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you here. I shouldn't have been. I mean, there are times, we all have to think about this too. There are times in our lives where I'm not going to say it's the wrong thing. It's never the wrong thing to do, to communicate and to be honest. But a lot of the times it would be wiser not to. And in this situation for me, there were so many things I could have said in a different way, or just not have said to a man that I personally look up to, that's done an awful lot for me. And here, I'm a man, so I'm going to qualify by saying I've done what I can for him also. That's how men are. When a lot of real men sit around, we talk about alpha males, we don't think of what, and now we got Tim Tarbox here, so I'm going to call a couple assholes out. We don't think about alpha male as Tonka Saw, because I just heard, is this true, Tim Tarbox? I heard that Tonka Saw and Andy Race Worski are going to have a fight. Oh my goodness. If they are, I want to know where it is. because I'll spend the money and go. I would want to see it, and it'd be a double bonus. Not only would I see it, but I would be in the same area that at least Tonka saw, and who knows, maybe even that fat lard ass sissy failure to launch or failure to communicate would be there. It'd be funny. It's funny. It's easy. It's easy to have a plan to ride the tiger, folks. But having a plan to ride the tiger is a lot different than riding that motherfucker, let me tell you. I don't have any plans. But anyway, so it's true. Knoxville. My parents live in Knoxville. Oh my goodness gracious. On the 19th. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to check some stuff out. Nobody's gonna get that, but maybe you and I. I'm not gonna explain it. That we're Sigma males. That's even better. So here we go. It's different for a real Sigma / aka alpha male. It's some of the things that folks think that like, oh man, I'm so tough. I'm so tough. Well, you know what I did, Captain Cole Pog, was one of the big issues, Tim Tarbox, back in the day, is I was called a liar because I went out and shot some rabbits that were right in my backyard, and all I had to do was turn the spotlights on, throw a couple of firecrackers when they came out, let them get stunned, what they call tharn, and Watership Downs. That's for you, cognitive fart, because you're too stupid to probably even get that reference, even though you're English. Oh my goodness. But they go tharn, and just, I mean, I can walk right up to them, man. It's almost like clubbing a pet rabbit in the back of the head. Same with it, like the pigeons I shot. They are wood pigeons. They're not technically doves, even though I call them doves a lot of the time. How you doing, my brother William? But one thing that's a fact is I go in a barn and they're in the rafters. What I did today wasn't really hunting. It was killing. And if they hadn't bogarted up in the corners where it's harder, I took about 7 shots at this one's head, but it was, man, he was tucked up in there. When I go up there tomorrow to make sure there's not a dead one hidden up there in the tops, because I would rather give it to a coyote or something out in the field that it rot up in the rafter. Wouldn't hurt nobody if it did, but I don't like to waste things like that. I'll probably see that 2x6 that was in front of him is just peppered, probably got 722 pellets in it. But there's something about that, man. I was saying it earlier. I don't know how to Watership Down's a good cartoon. Very funny. Lash LaRue. You're something else, brother. Yeah, at least you got the joke, though. You got the joke. Other people, I already mentioned him once. I'm not gonna do it again. Other people wouldn't even get the joke, man. They don't get the joke. That's part of the joke. It's like, man, do you realize? So the 19th, we would see. I wonder, is it going to be? Will it be real? I wonder if it'll be real or if it's just contrived. If it'll be, I mean, if they're going to go in there, bam, 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 boom, and I mean, people are just, like Pantera, like freaking vulgar display of power, and well, and what time will tell. I know one thing: if it's not, I've seen too many fights between sissies and real ones, between tough guys, to know the difference. If they go in there and faggot it up, I'll know. And I'm sure, I mean, they're gonna, even if I don't make it to Knoxville, man, it's not that far. It's the 19th. I gotta talk to Mrs. OGRE. I'm not sure she's even working then. That's so close. I hate to really buy tickets and give money, but what the hell? What are you gonna do? It's a sanction. Yeah, but dude, I've seen many sanctioned MMA events, Vash. I've been to them right here in Central Michigan. I mean, and some of the fights are really good, man, really good. I have some friends. I sometimes mention Young's Underground Fight Club. I know people that do this, okay? And suffice to say, roll around with them when I don't have shoulder problems like I have. But still, I mean, you have a lot of times you'll have like grudge matches like this, and you get in there, they're doing the old and like fucking around, and both of them are so scared they won't give nor take a punch. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy. Thanks a lot, Captain Cole Powell. Good to see you, brother. Work well. Have a good day. I'm still going to get in the rant proper, even though you're going. Ain't there yet. I'm thinking about these things, man, you know, and I'm trying to get my stone on. Is that all right with you? Is that okay with you, my friends? I also like to definitely have 8. I do. I said I was gonna mention it there. I did. Let me drink some more wine so I'm more of an asshole. Let me look. Let me see what I got here. I mean, shoot, I've only been here for a minute. I've only been here for 25 minutes. So I got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Here's to you, Captain Coalpile, and your family. Mm. So I can't wait to see that. I'm going to be looking forward because my guess, I mean, I heard somebody was making a joke. I think Tonka Saw broke his bloody neck. And so, I mean, they're like, as you know, it's going to be a fight as long as there's a wheelchair access for Tonka Saw. I can't remember who said it. It was one of these geniuses that are always cracking very, very good jokes. Tim Tarbach says he's not in this fight situation between Tonka Saw and Ray Swirsky. He says, I'm not rooting for anyone in it. Could care less about it. It's just an extension of internet drama. It's rumored there's a pay-per-view for it. I kind of would have to see that to believe it. But let me ask you a question, Tim Tarbox. In your honest heart, do you believe it's real? Or is it completely contrived? They were friends for a while. You know, when all that drama went down with me, that was someplace else I was supposed to go, was to, you know, they had said, we'll go on Worski's show. I was like, no, fuck y'all, man. You already got 2 hours of my time. I'm a fucking Jew. Y'all want more of my time? It's $1,000 an hour. I did say that to them. Of course, they laughed and whatever. And I was like, well, you know, fuck you faggots. And I mean, I had enough of them. I did whatever it is that I needed to do or thought I needed to do, whether it's what I needed to do or not, I did it. And at the end of that, I was done. Once in a while, somebody sends me a clip, though. I'm not ashamed and I'm not a pussy. If something's good going on over there, I go watch the show. I love King Carl, by the way. I should get his link out, man, and send it out. He got kind of known from Tonka Saw, but he ain't no Tonka Saw. He's actually tough. If I haven't checked him out, I need to check him out now. As far as I know, he's already turned on Tonka and called him out for the faggot that he is. Now, and let me say it this way. I'm not rooting for anyone. I've never seen Tonka in any way whatsoever. So I can't even assess him visually. I'm going to say this, judging by his build, his demeanor, his actions, if it's a real fight, it's probably going to take a punch or two, and then Ray Swirsky is going to come uncunted. He's going to come uncunted. He looks like one of those dudes. He's going to come uncunted. And if Tonka Saw is not ready to block that and just give him some good jabs and follow it up with a bam and know how to pick his punches or double leg takedown, if he's whatever it is that he might want to try to do, if he's not ready to do it, I think that Andy Worski is going to beat the ever loving fuck out of him. But I think to do that, it will take, as I said, probably a couple pokes, maybe a poke to the face. And then he's going to remember what a faggot he was in school and how everybody picked on him. He's going to, all these things are going to flooding back into his mind. He's going to remember that his Asian twin brother is like cooler than he is and has a bigger pecker. And he's going to flip the fuck out, man. And he is going to probably, if it's real, this is my guess. And I'd put 10 on it, at least. I'd put 20 on it to one person or 10 to 2. Even odds, he'll beat him into the ground. Because I believe that I know that Tonka Saw has been in professional wrestling. Hey, man, I ain't taking nothing away from professional wrestlers, but they're not fighters. I mean, Brock Lesnar, that big monster, found out he's not won every one of his fights, folks. He's not in MMA. And this guy he's a monster. Mr. Lesnar, I've got no problem with you. I don't care if you got diverticulitis. I don't want to fight you, sir. Got no problem with you, sir. I mean, but when you look at Randy Couture, I mean, pound for pound, I know that's the normal colloquialism, but pound for pound, Randy Couture is 5 times tougher and stronger and better fighter than Brock Lesnar. And if I keep talking about fighters, I'll really show my age, because you'll see that I still like Chuck Liddell, and I just mentioned other old guys, Mr. Stonley. That's what we are. We're old guys. and we like old things. And with old guys comes wisdom. Laura Loomer. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. You know what? Are you telling me, Mr. Stonley, that this is gay as fuck and you don't want to hear about this gay ass fucking YouTube drama bullshit anymore? That's what you're saying, isn't it? Stonley, did you send me a link, baby? Send me a link, Mr. Stonley, or get your ass on here if you want. Let me send you the link here. Now, folks, I'm not at the end of this now, so I just ask for respect and kindness. I'm sending this link out just in case Mr. Stonley can come on here because there's breaking news that is much cooler than what I'm talking about. Apparently, Laura Loomer, I mean, she did climbed over Nancy Pelosi's wall. I'm not sure what she did. Totally, because I went to the Drudge Report and it's not up here. I don't see anything. It says Laura Loomer. It says photos, walls, fences around the world. I mean, I looked and there's nothing right here close that says anything about Laura Loomer. So either Stonley, if you will, my brother, my young, virulent stud of a brother, if you will either join me, tell us about it, or give me a link to however, I don't care if it's a tweet, wherever it is. And Tim Tarbuck says the former Chris Worski, the former Chris Worski has parted with Andy. He has his own channel, Chris Cortex, psychology topics with a little humor. That's kind of cool. I love psychology. Laura Loomer is an attention whore. Not much more, in my humble opinion. I can't say much about that. I'm definitely not going to argue with it. Do I think that she has relevance though in this modern age? Yeah, she does. Because I'm an attention whore. I really can't. If I go there, you see Tim Tarbox, you can go there because you don't have a channel. I don't see. I'm looking at myself right now to make sure that I'm using the right. When I'm looking at you or whatever, I'm looking over here, which shows myself in the chat. That's what I'm looking at right now. Now it's not in real time because I'm seeing the chat, but I can see myself. I'm an attention whore. I'm not qualified to comment on that. And that goes for all of us on this platform. Fuck it, I'm gonna pour the rest of this bottle in there. Good gracious, though, folks, this is probably all I'm gonna drink today. I had to quit drinking beer, but that doesn't mean I want to just replace it with wine. And wine is so much stronger. I'm used to drinking beer. You try to drink as much, wine as you do beer. In other words, 12 ounces for 12 ounces. Wow. For me personally, I would be under the rug. It'd probably kill me. Okay, I realize I'm sitting here wondering, what's Mr. Stonley doing? He may be trying to join. I don't know. Last time it was a pain in his ass. I don't know what the hell the problem is with these freaking idiots. You'd think they'd make it easy for us to join, but they don't. They don't. So I'm going to, what I didn't do yet is to type Laura Loomer into God, aka Google. Oh man, they just is like I just was watching epic rap battles. Laura Loomer tricks undocumented men for her latest stunt. What is this? 56 minutes ago. So I think I got it. Right-wing activist Laura Loomer allegedly trespasses at Nancy Pelosi's. Oh my goodness, this is good stuff right here, folks. This really is. And thank you, Tim Tarbox. I appreciate. I see that, but I don't like to read when I really don't like to read it when people agree with me. Everybody will see it there. I appreciate it though. And it's not okay. I'm going to go ahead and read it because it's not that you agree with me, but you're saying that you are flattering me, and I appreciate it. But you're saying Ogre's a content creator and not an attention whore. There's a big difference. I just realized that some people won't see it if I cut this out and put it up as a little snippet, and I probably will. So, I appreciate that, but I'm not sure. Judging myself, I don't know. I think I may be an attention whore. Newsweek, and that goes. A lot of people would try to call me out on that because I was called that by some people that and the further gone a little while ago. Fact of the matter is, they're attention whores too. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. That's why it's hard for me to say that. But I dig you. I do dig you. Your point, Tim Tarbox, is not lost. You're saying that she doesn't have a really good reason in her heart for doing this. So this is coming from Newsweek US by Daniel Moritz Rabson. I'm not even kidding. Moritz Rabson. Probably a fellow Jew. That's a messed up name, my brother. Right-wing activist Laura Loomer allegedly trespasses at Nancy Pelosi's California house to stage a protest. Shall I play a little wee bit? Let's see here. Let's see what they got here. It's probably just some music and whatever text, but let's see here. I don't know, man. This is gay. I mean, they're just saying shit it's going to say in the article. I don't really care about their over freaking produced thing there. Right-wing activist Laura Loomer reportedly jumped the fence around House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's California house on Monday and set up a tent to protest, according to a Daily Beast reporter. Oh, man, this is freaking great. I'm sorry, this is great. I don't care who you are. The reporter, Will Sumner, tweeted around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, quote, Laura Loomer has walked off the stream on her way to Pelosi's house. One of her crew is claiming that it's illegal to jump the fence because, that it's legal, not illegal, legal to jump the fence because there were no trespassing signs. And he says, I don't know about that. I don't either. But here we go. Quote, one of Loomer's pals is urging viewers to come and ask for sanctuary at Pelosi's house. Attention, whore. Go ahead, say it again. Dude, it don't really matter to me now. It really don't matter. This is good. This is a good thing she's doing. I don't care if you disagree or in and not you, Tim Tarbox, anyone. I don't care if you disagree with me. This is a good thing she's doing. Yes. Let's all jump the fence at Speaker Pelosi's house and ask for quote unquote sanctuary. She should be fine with that. I would be much safer at her place. I don't feel safe here. We have black bears roaming the woods. They're everywhere. I don't feel safe here. I would feel safer at Speaker Pelosi's house. I would like to go and request sanctuary, or how about asylum? So one of Loomer's pals is urging viewers to come and ask for sanctuary at Pelosi's house. He claims they'll be allowed to stay and won't get in legal trouble because, quote, we're not Antifa, and quote, he continued. Now, because they always like, President Trump defended the people in Charlottesville. No, he didn't. He didn't defend anyone. He said there was good and bad on both sides. So if they say that's defending Nazis, well, then he was defending Antifa also. I only saw real evil on one side, and it wasn't even the Nazis. It's hard for a Jew to say. It's just the truth. I mean, this Antifa is way worse than any white supremacist group that I know of. Much, much more dangerous, much more horrific. Now Laura Loomer is back to the story here, and saying she tried to open the doors to Pelosi's house, but they were locked. This seems like an unwise thing to be admitting. No, it's not. If there's no trespassing signs, it is not illegal. And if you try a door and it's open, you can walk in. The cops do. And if you can't, the cops have to stop doing it. And they always say, well, the door was unlocked. Okay. If you're a police officer and you can do something and it's not a crime and I can't do it, it is a crime. When I do it, that's a two-tiered justice system. That's tyranny. We don't do that here. The law is the law. I mean, they're trying to do it with the Second Amendment and take away our right to bear arms when every cop's got a gun on his hip. Fuck that. That's all I'm going to say. As long as the government carries a gun, I will. I don't give a shit if it was illegal for me to. I wouldn't care. I would always carry a gun, no matter what. No care. And mark that down. I don't give a fuck who's watching me. We mark it down. Come to my house and arrest me for it. I would sue, and I would be as patient as I could be in a stinking jail. I love that quote, hearken friends, when freedom fails, the best men rot in stinking jails. But those who cry to appease are hung by those they tried to please. Fucking yellow-bellied morons, wake up. Listen to Laura Loomer. Seems like an unwise thing. No, she's doing the right thing. Summer tweeted at 3:23 that police had arrived around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He wrote that Loomer was removed from Pelosi's lawn by the authorities, but not arrested. Loomer reportedly said that some people with her were undocumented immigrants. Hey, man, is that the guy that busted Antif? No, I don't think it is. Is that it's not, is it? Oh, I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. You know, the dude that like infiltrated him in Berkeley with the BAM, the by any means necessary, and that oh man. Stormy Daniels' lawyer Michael Avenatti, what a piece of garbage, and Laura Loomer attend Politicon 2018. So this is a while ago. She's fat, man. I don't care what anybody says. She's fat. Loomer was kicked off Twitter in November after criticizing U.S. Representative this Muslim cunt from Michigan. I can't believe she's from Michigan. She's a piece of garbage I'm sorry, Minnesota. We got one too. Don't worry, we got one too. A Muslim in the first Somali American elected Congress. Loomer's tweet said that she's anti-Jewish. She is. She's Jewophobe. She's Jewophobe. Simple as that. She hates Jews. She wants to run us off into the sea. She hates us. She wants us to die. I hate her. Feelings mutual. But I do believe that Mrs. Loomer should be able to say whatever she wants about this cunt, because this cunt says whatever she wants about my people and my heritage. That's okay though, right? Why? Because us Jews rule the world and you think we're scum? Well, if you do, if you're one of those and you listen to me, that's fine. But I got one thing to say to you. Suck my Jew cock, you fucking goy piece of shit. Shalom. Loomer subsequently staged a protest by handcuffing herself to Twitter headquarters, blah, blah, blah. That's old news. Not going to stand by Jack Dorsey, blah, blah, blah. Banned from ride-sharing services. She can't go on Uber. All I can say is even if she is just the only thing is an attention whore, why are they so afraid of this girl? Stonely, Tarbox, Vash, those of you here, why are they so afraid of this girl? They act like she's got an awful lot of power. I tell you what, man, it's incredible to me. Yeah, I got enough wine and smoke in me. I'm going to go into my final rant. Thank you so much for coming by. You see the link up there. If you do care to join in for the final word, feel free to do so. No matter who it is, we will keep it brief today. I'll say my last thing here. You'd have 3 minutes, and then I would say my final word. But really appreciate all y'all's attention, your time. I love this thing that I do. This is equivalent to hunting to me. It's a very, it's cathartic. It's self-satisfying. It's a wonderful way to communicate, and you feel this feedback. It's really a great thing. It releases endorphins in me. It makes me feel good. It is a type of a drug. How you doing, Agent of Apathy? I don't know if you watch, man. I don't know if you even watch my videos, but I put a video up today. I killed some pigeons today and tore the breasts out. I already ate them. Well, I got 3 left. I ate 3 of the 6 because I killed 3 birds and there's 2 in halves. But I put I use your face a lot, man. I really like it. It's funny. It's very expressive. So I can put your face there, and it says like a picture speaks 1,000 words. So just putting you there with some of these different looks that you've put out, it does all the work for me. I don't have to worry about the text. So just popped in. Good to see you, Agent of Apathy. It really is Reaper of Butts to me. The more memes, the merrier, and that's what I love about you, mate. Take your time, stay as long as you'd like, but I'm getting out of here. Just giving my final word on this whole shit show. Let me light my doobie. Ocasio-Cortez, Ileana Omar, Miss Tariq Assad, Hamika Habiba, Rasa Geneliata, Fucka Judy Yoda. I mean, I don't know, man. All of these, they can all kiss my ass. I said it before. They can all kiss my ass. When we say diversity and tolerance, what do we mean? Is it honestly hijacked to that point? Are we really at the place in humanity where diversity, quote unquote, is forced on the quote unquote Western world? Is that where we're at? I know I was on with, the all-knowing and all-seeing and sagely Sargon of Akkad, and he liked to cut me off and told me that he didn't believe in white flight and stuff just because I mentioned that they don't speak of diversity in Japan. He didn't address the fact that they don't speak of diversity in Japan. Japan is very restrictive on how many gaijin they allow to go into their country. They're not going to change, folks. They don't give a fuck how you feel or what you think. The only thing that would change your mind would be another nuclear bomb called Fat Daddy. Little Bumbo. Anyway, I shouldn't crack jokes about nuclear annihilation, but I do. Again, I don't know. I've got to be me. So I bring it up, and this English guy, he's getting it over there. The Remainers, the Ramoners are taking a giant shit on democracy. Nobody's talking about that. It's not a national story. Trump's a threat to democracy. Grow the fuck up. Fuck up, little soldier. You're crazy. Trump is the outworking of democracy. Trump is an example of democracy in action. He is the will of the people, be it good, be it bad. It doesn't matter at this point. I hate democracy. You hate democracy, Ogre? You communist? No. Nope. I just don't believe in the tyranny of the majority any more than I believe in the tyranny of the state or the tyranny of the corporation. In other words, I don't believe in fascism. I don't believe in socialism or communism, and I don't believe in statism. I believe in free commerce, free trade. I believe in I shoot some doves, and I eat the meat. I raise whatever I want on my land. If I can cut the trees off my land, mill them, and build a place, paint on it with paint that I buy that says whorehouse and whiskey billiards inside, I should be able to do that right now. Now, I often qualify it by saying the community could kick me out, but then I could just go outside of the community right to the town line and put it right there. And if you're grandfathered in, you're grandfathered in. I mean, so in other words, if you try to build in an established community, they could stop you. But if you build somewhere and a community springs up, no. That's not freedom. That's tyranny of the majority. Oh, but Ogre, you said whorehouse. Yep. If I wanted to set up a crack house, a meth house, a whorehouse, a house of ill repute, a gambling den, someplace where people could come and indulge their vice. What the fuck is wrong with you Puritanians? I'm the Christian in the room right now. I'm the divinity student. And you're the one telling me if I can smoke pot or drink booze or shoot heroin in my cock, I can do what I want. You can say you've made a law, but your law is not real. Your law is a cardboard cutout. It is unreality, superimposed over the real world. There is no law that says you can't do cocaine. There is a man stopping you from your right to do that. Oh, why? I can hear MCJK right now. Whoa, girl, I'm so much smarter than you. All you care about is your dope. No, all I care about, MCJK and others, is your right to place in your body, your sacred temple, your holy realm that should be controlled exclusively by you, with no input from anyone that you do not choose to recognize. That's what I'm talking about. Freedom. And if you don't believe in that, you don't believe in freedom. And there's many people that will quickly admit it. No, I don't believe in freedom. I believe in the Constitution of the United States. I love the Constitution of the United States, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I don't have a religious connection. You are a wizard, Mr. Stoney. I don't have a religious connection with the Constitution. And many people do. Many people have a religious connection with this anti-gun sentiment, this anti-hunting sentiment. As long as I can, I will take my air rifle killed those doves today. My 22 Gammo, made in Spain, 22 caliber Gammo Pigman, slings a lead pellet at 1,020 feet per second. The pigeon is dead before it hears the pop. It's faster than the speed of sound. Well, no, it's not true. It's right under it, but it's close. And yes, you're saying, oh, the speed of sound is 800, whatever. But it's the things break the sound barrier different when they have velocity, when they have joules of energy and foot-pounds of energy behind them. Ask me to explain it one day, and I will do my best. I'm not a mathematician. If you really want to know, go ask Thunderfoot. We shouldn't allow these influences into our communities and into our own minds. And when we do, we're committing the most horrific kind of cowardice. I said it today, and I'm going to say it again. If anyone tells me that it's immoral for me to shoot natural meat, animals, to harvest natural animals with my own hands, to butcher them and slaughter them with my hands, and to eat them because I get blood on my hands or I stop the life, they better be vegetarians. And I mean lacto-ovo. They better not even drink milk or eat cheese, because you can't, it's much like I said yesterday about hard bastard. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me what words I can and can't say. And I challenge anyone. I've never banned anyone on this channel. You can say whatever you want in my chat. You can say Ogre looks like he has a coagulated, drying mass of semen in his beard, as if he's been at the truck stop taking multiple face shots. I don't care. I mean, and I'll take that back, because memes has called me out. Do I care? I don't know. I hear some of that stuff. It's like, wow, that was rude, or whoa, that was creative, or whatever. But when I stop, when I stifle you, no. I think I'm going to go down the list on Twitter, because I have insta-blocked many people. But after my rant yesterday, I was struck with guilt. As I was talking shit about Sofane, whom I talked to today on Twitter. He's a great guy. And the fact of the matter is, I block people. I'm going to unblock everybody. Everybody I ever blocked on Twitter. That includes Tonka, Cognitive Thought, all these people, Chagrin and Barrett, all of them. And Chagrin and Barrett's a horrible individual. I really don't know if she's still around. I'm guessing that she tried some dumb shit with someone else because she's a victim. She claims, I don't know if she was molested when she was a youth. Maybe. She put it on the internet. I mean, you talk about attention whore. Whoa. What kind of person would do that? She did have some funny stories about goats and laundry rooms and stuff, though. I promoted her channel. I used to enjoy her till she doctored some of my tweets and then DMs, and then completely fabricated others and threw in with these people that were getting folks to get pictures of me that were in private. Oh man, look, I'm going on a thing. If I don't watch it, Stonely will get back on me. I'll be like, oh, Laura Loomer. Oh, that's why you're here, Stonely. You know, you're the adult in the fucking room. All right, I didn't call you an old man. You're the adult in the room. It's your job. Just face it. Maybe a couple comments. I disagree with abortion, says Tim Tarbox, but I fully support the right for a person to choose for themselves, just as I don't want someone to choose if I can own a gun for me. That's fine. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm going to leave your comment stand. I have my own opinions on abortion. I think everybody here knows it. So no reason for me to comment on that whatsoever. And Mr. Stonely actually says he concurs, Tim Tarbox. Tim Tarbox says drugs will never be a choice for me, but I think the government should decriminalize it and allow people to choose for themselves if they wish to indulge. I appreciate that concedence. I do too. I don't care if, because most of the drugs I named, I don't do. I smoke weed. I don't do heroin, cocaine, or whatever. Well, I don't know about cocaine. If I wouldn't say no if someone else was possessing it. Anyway, I mean, it's a wonderful drug. It really is. It's a good drug. I think, in fact, it's funny. I think me and Mr. Stonley were bravely talking about that the other day because it's crazy. I was like, holy fuck, man. And then, like, in Canada, I mean, it's such a delicacy because they make this shit way down there in Central and South America. And so you're up there, you're in Canada. It's like, wow, this fucking Peruvian flake made it all the way to Manitoba, baby. Let's bump and paint, boys. I can't even believe that we made it illegal because it's so American. It's a drug that makes you want to work more. Methamphetamine, it does too. I don't think it should be illegal, but I don't feel the same way about it because meth fucks people up. I mean, that's what Hitler, he did a lot of meth. Oh my goodness, did I ever get off the topic? How you doing, MCJK? Good to see you, my brother. Federal government shouldn't have the power to criminalize drugs. And you know what? That's why I love you, brother. I was just talking shit about you about 10 minutes ago. Well, I'm not talking shit, but I was just, dressing you down because I don't agree with everything. Don't ask me to go back there, dude. I'm stoned, all right? But this is typical. This is one of the reasons why I look up to you, or I listen to you, and I do look up to you. It's because it's crazy. No one would expect that from a hardcore military man, a government man. And I mean that in a good way, not a G man, like a Fed, a government man, a GI, a general issue grunt that just happens to be smarter than a lot of them and works in an office. It's good to see you though, MC. I'm just getting this wrapped up into an end. I think I might have a little snippet there in the middle I can cut out for later. I don't know, maybe not. I tried to do just a rant, but fact of the matter is when I get here with y'all and start reading, they like right here, Agent of Apathy says, I only block the Negro snuff film world star accounts. All right. Don't blame me for that. Mr. Stonley says, ha, 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 LOL. My dad says that they should make drugs mandatory, Tim Tarbox, and then no one would want to do them. Isn't that funny? Isn't that the way human beings are? Ogre, next time you're conversing with Sofane, please tell him I said hello. If you think about it, I will. Why does he not? He didn't block you, did he? Did he block you, Tim Tarbox? Huh. I mean, and if so, I'll just wait for your answer on that. I will. I'll mention you specifically. I'll give him a fucking link to your thing. He usually answers everybody unless he's blocked somebody. I don't know. I know he's a sensitive boy. Let me read you a couple of tweets. Okay, it's tweets. We're going to talk about that right now. Let me go here. It's all public. I mean, shit, I ain't going to talk trash about him. I'm just going to show y'all that there was some conversations earlier, and there's always these I'll have to go back. And I mean, he's here. He's with Dolphin Radio. Okay. So let me go back up here. These boys stars like, no way does Trump Senate vote to not confirm Barr. Does everybody know about Barr? Barr's getting into the Attorney General, the AG. I was watching some of that shit today. I got burnt out on it. I can only take so much. But so the Dolphin Radio comes back and says the Senate was always the goal. Kind of makes you wish the Dems hadn't changed the rules in the 90s from 60-40 confirmation to a simple majority, huh? That's all he said. You can see it right there. So Fane says, and look, I don't care. This guy, Dolphin Radio's right wing, and Sofane's left wing. I am no wing. I want y'all to know that. I think they're both off their nut. They ain't looking at it right. I'd show you one of my comments down further. I'd tell them what I think about who can govern. And so Sofane says, you don't need to reply to me anymore, Dolphin. I always know that the Democrats did something wrong. And even if it's not my point, that's what you will say. I got it. Dems bad, Dems bad, Dems bad. All right. And then Dolphin. And of course, I should have liked this one. And of course, he's got followers. So his sycophants just six up. And who knows how many people actually read it. I think I was one of them. And I'm not a sycophant. I'm just saying. Just saying. So, you look at the likes. You can't go by likes when you're looking at, some Dolphin Radio's got 257 followers. And Sofane has 6,227 followers. You know what I mean? Can't really go by that. You have to just look at what they're saying. And then so Dolphin comes back and says, besides, I really don't like the simple majority rule and wish it was just 60-40, which was my real point. And then Sophie says a non sequitur. He says that a couple times. I thought one of my comments were on that one right there. But this went on for a while. It really did. It went on for like, it seemed like forever. Because it was like, this was my comment right here. I'm of the thought that they all, Democrat and Republican, could not govern their way out of a land war in Asia. And I will always stick with that. I was saying it earlier. People come, people think I'm as crazier actually than Owen Benjamin. And I was listening to him the other night. The guy's nuts. He's like, he's on this bandwagon. Okay, they say there's no orders of extermination from Adolf Hitler. No, there wasn't. No. Dude, does he? I don't, and I tried to, but if I say too much, he'll kick me out of his chat because he's a real snowflake, this Owen Benjamin. He always is talking about short guys and mentioning how tall people are. Look, I'm 6'1", so he can't go there with me. He is taller than I am, but I'm 6'1". I think Owen Benjamin's got a dinky, tiny little tinky. Because why else would he constantly be saying he's 6'1"? You know, I'm just being hyperbolic, of course, folks. I'm being comedic. You know, I don't give a shit or know how big his pecker is. I just wonder what's up his ass. What the hell's wrong with him? So in the end, that's where I'm at. I don't care what you think about Democrats, Republicans. It's left, right. One boot stomps on your face, the other boot stomps on your neck. How you doing, memes of destruction? Ogre, did you hear his wizard piece? No, I don't think I did. And by did I hear his, do you mean Dolphin Radio or Sophane? No, I didn't hear it though. And I got off kilter. I really don't care. This is going to be a free flow stream, extemporaneous. I've put 61 minutes in now, so I'm really close to my final word. My goal is always 60 minutes. In fact, tell you what, memes, I'm going to send this out because you're always good for boosting the show if you're not at work. And if you're at work, it's 3:34. You may still be. Well, you know, fuck it. And anybody else want to come in and save the show, give us about another 15 to 20 minutes more. That's it of talking. And then we'll go to our final words. Why, feel free to join the Ogre. Till we do that, I'm going to go ahead and, man, dude, it's been working so good today too, folks. Like I'm getting good vibes from y'all. But nothing because of the sound. I haven't been talking and looked and forgot because I keep trying to remember to look over here. It's another reason I'm constantly looking this way, watching that green line bump up and down on the right by stop broadcast and right by where it says you. There's one going this way, one going vertical, one going horizontal. So anyway, here we go. Here's going to be a little bit of music. And when that music's over, we'll talk a little bit more. I feel like Winston from 1984, like I tipped it down, the weed all fell out. I know his was tobacco, but yeah, here we go. I'm just trying to think. Any suggestions too? If you got a request for a tune, let me know. Probably play two. So if I got one, let me think here. How about some Rod Stewart? If you want my body, yeah, great tune. I mean, sometimes people joke about it stuff, but what an excellent tune, man. So you go, enjoy some Rod Stewart with your evening.
So nervous, avoiding all the questions. His lips are dry, our hearts gently pounding. Don't you just know exactly what they're thinking? You want my body and another night together. Now hold on a minute before we go much further. Give me a dime so I can phone my mother and catch a cab to his high-rise apartment. At last he can tell her exactly what his heart needs. You want my body and you think I'm sexy. Come on, honey, tell me so. If you really need me, just reach out and touch me. Come on, sure to let me know. His heart's beating like a drum, 'cause at last he's got this girl home. Relax, baby, now we're all alone. Watch the only movie. You want my body and you think I'm sexy. Come on, sugar, let me know. If you really need me, just reach out and touch me. Come on, honey, tell me so. If you really need me, bust a flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train, and I was feeling as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumped the diesel down just before the rain. He rode us all the way to New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out my dirty red bandana. I was playing soft while Bobby sang the blues. Windshield wipers slapping time. I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing, it ain't nothing, honey, it ain't free. Yeah, all feeling good was easy, Lord, when he sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby reggae. From the Kentucky coal mines to the California sun, here Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather, through everything we've done, Bobby, baby, help me from the cold. One day I'm near Selena's Lord, I let him slip away. But he's looking for that home, and I hope he finds it. But I trade all my tomorrows for that one single yesterday, to be holding Bob's body next to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing, only time that Bobby left.
You see, it's all about the show must go on, but I did catch the misstep there. I caught it. I don't know if y'all heard that, but and this is live. I mean, but they went right on. I hope in my heart, though, she doesn't blame the guitar player for that. And there's memes. So look, I'm going to go into whatever memes wants to talk about. I did say that I would give a little bit of time for anybody that wanted to join. And here's memes. He appeared as a wizard would, as if some kind of benign magic was actually driving his motives in his life. How you doing, memes?
I'm doing all right, man. Just another day in paradise. And to be fair, I only ever made it to a level 70 mage myself personally. But I noticed
70?
Level 70.
You had a very, very liberal dungeon master, is my guess.
Oh, no, that wasn't Dungeons and Dragons. That was World of Warcraft. Mr. Quinn could let you know what was that, Burning Crusade, somewhere in there. That was before my Death Knight took over, but that's another story. But yeah, no. So all of a sudden, PSA Stitch came up as a recommended stream. I'm not even sure if I'm still even subscribed to that channel. If I even subscribe, dude, it's one of those things. Like all of a sudden, channels, it's like recommended. I could have sworn I was subscribed to that back in the day. It's weird the way the force shifts here on YouTube sometimes.
Who did you say?
PSA Stitch. Probably got like 59, 60,000 subs, and they were reviewing some Owen Benjamin stuff. And I had heard Owen Benjamin. I don't really listen to him that much, but he uses the term wizardry, and they were reviewing one of his videos, and he's just kind of he seems to be in pretty good form, dude. He's a passionate gentleman. He's like, I'm such a good wizard. I need to stifle myself from like casting spells, and like they were kind of dissecting him, and I'm like,
look, man, listen, I'd never said anything bad about Owen Benjamin, but if anyone, there's a few problems that I have with Owen, and I will just say the number one, he sometimes misses the obvious answer, because I don't believe, as much as he understands memes, I don't think he understands Occam's razor. I think that's the one idea, that one way of looking at problems that he doesn't understand. Now, I see it when he's talking about the moon landing, and I don't want to get long. I want to hear what you think about him, and it's fine. But the biggest problem I have with him, and I was pushing him, people that have like bear in their name on he's a panderer. That's if any other problem, because if you look, there's like, he's building like a cult following. And the way he talks in absolutes, all I can tell you is, man, I read Persuasion. I have it on my bookshelf out there. There's many things I could do in speaking, and I don't. I do use inflection. I do a lot of things that help me, but there's some things that are disingenuous, man. And when I look at that, so I'll just get to the point. He's building a cult. He speaks in absolutes, and he will not accept any kind of demurral, any kind of condescending idea. He will immediately kick him off. I've seen people give him money, and in the super chat, and I mean like $50 one time, $50. I don't care how rich he is. It's $50, dude. I don't care who you are. You'd be 10 billion in the bank. It's $50. And he was like, now fuck you, man. I'm returning your money. You're banned. And anybody that watches stream knows I'm not joking. I even tried to put on his accent, but I love the guy. I do love the guy. So tell us more about Owen Benjamin, because he's intriguing, and maybe we should hear something good after what I just said.
Well, the only issue with Occam's razor is, does it make for as good TV? That's the thing. It's people like to be entertained. I mean, everyone loves a good story. It's just, I watched some of the deconstruction of some of his videos, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this is why Cabby tells me to shut up every time I start going on one of my tangents, and he gets very angry about things. And as I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, this is why he was getting so angry, just because it's like, who am I? Dude, I got like 60 subscribers or stuff. I talk about dragons. I'll shoot the shit with everywhere from people that may be considered black nationalists to people that may be considered white nationalists. It's like, all right, I'll speak with folks as long as they ain't breaking the law and they're being decently respectful. I'll talk to pretty much anybody. It's like, all right, he's talking to a lot of folks, and he's selling them a medic, and the crazy thing is, it really isn't that far out from a lot of the things that Professor Peterson has been laying out. You could say it's an additional foundation. How solid that foundation is, I'm sure, because our civilization has been built upon narrative, and if you can connect people to things that in ways that are more positive. And to be fair, I was trying to bring up a good clip, trying to conjure some Owen Benjamin magic, but I couldn't really find anything too good within the minute or so that I searched. But I heard him delve into everything. He's like, well, there's good magic, there's white magic, and there's bad magic and black magic. I'm like, all right, so anybody that's played any Final Fantasy could tell you that right there. I'm like, all right, so he just literally is kind of deconstructing things, and I'm like, well, these are things that I've been kind of promoting, and it's like, well, you can respect the magic. You don't need to necessarily agree with the wizard.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because a lot of the times, one of the things I do, I like his advocacy for youth and children. I like his idea of family and home life, and his idea of the way that we have, for lack of a better term, evolved as human beings.
He's a traditional values guy.
Yeah, yes. But he's unapologetic about it because look, all the data is on the side of him most of the time too. He's not, as you said, you mentioned something very important about Owen Benjamin. I don't think he's lying when he says he's got 145 on IQ. I think it's up there. He says it's right up there. I don't doubt it. Because he's the way that
he's a big, tall, smart, good-looking dude.
He's good looking. You know, that's the first thing I thought when I seen him the first time I saw him was on the Steven Crowder show. I thought, who is this ugly moron? I'm not even kidding. Because the way he was pumping in stuff and they kept going to him, I was like, is this guy going to be on here all the time and be sucking up not gay Jared's oxygen because he's fucking stupid?
Mr. Ogre, I have a question. Are you the best judge of male attractiveness?
Well, no, I don't think you are either, sir. I mean,
well, no. That's why.
Let me quote Arlie Ermy. Do you suck dicks?
No. That's just. I was just pointing that out. I'm just like, hey, attraction is very subjective at times. There are certain trends that we tend to see within different cultures and in general. But that's the thing. My big thing is I see a lot of folks with different ideas, and you know what? As long as the idea works for them, it's decently constructive, and you're not harming other folks. I'm like, if it works for them, I don't know. I try to keep at least some level of a libertarianish framework. If you ain't violating the NAP or reasonably endangering other folks, or basically, if somebody's going to get in trouble for something, it should typically be for something that if you do it and you're like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Like, if it makes sense, then you're like, oh, I'm caught, but I know what I'm caught for, rather than like you're driving around and all of a sudden you're getting pulled over and you're getting arrested. It's like, why am I getting arrested? Oh, this car was stolen. It's like, no, this was my cousin's. Well, somebody stole it. And you're like, oh, shit.
Mr. Stonely, man. But the problem is that we know that all Englishmen and all Canadians are secretly gay anyway. We watch the Trailer Park Boys.
I think we all might be a little gay. I don't know, man.
Hey, my best friend and business partner
George Clooney is a decent looking.
I'm not going to go all there with you, but all I can say is my business partner and longtime friend since the 6th grade, the King of Esty, always says, if they didn't have a pussy on them, there'd be a bounty on their head. We would be sucking each other off as we were like, hey, there's another one, Bob. And you can guess who would have the bounty. I just said it.
Wait, hold on. Mr. Ogre, are you saying that if typically more homosexual relations became...
We'd just kill the women off. We'd kill them off.
Back in the day, we just would have fucked each other to death?
We would kill the women off, and then the species would die. Why do I say that? I often promote this, man. This is probably the first time in about 7-8 months, though. Sargon of Akkad wrote a short story, a dystopian story about feminazis just took over dude, man, like says something that they misconstrue and they give him like 6 hours unpaid work that week and shit. And he's got to pay 28% of his check for his white privilege, or I don't think it's called white privilege. It's like for his male, masculine privilege and all. In the end, have you heard that story?
I know it was on ancient recitations and stuff. I didn't know he actually did a story.
No, he wrote, just type in, so I'm gonna do it now so I make sure, because it's not the easiest thing to find. I'm telling you, for a guy like himself, the last time I looked, it had like 200,000 views, and it's a short story original by Sargon of Akkad, Carl. And it's one of my favorite short stories, mate. I've listened to it probably 30 times. Not even kidding, because I love to listen to audiobooks while I'm working. Doesn't matter if I've heard Shirley Jackson's the Haunting of Hill House or the Lottery, whatever.
Mr. Ogre, I have to point something out.
Oh, yes.
Google has finally self-corrected. When you type in Sargon in Google, it actually comes up with the original Akkadian emperor now.
Not Sargon of Akkad. They've ruined him. They hate him.
No, it's true. Well, Sargon of Akkad YouTube is the second thing. But if you think of it,
should be first.
Yes. It actually comes up with Sargon of Akkad ruler. Sargon of Akkad was the first ruler of the Semitic-speaking Akkadian Empire, known for his conquest of the Sumerian city-states in the 24th to 23rd centuries BC, rather than Carl Benjamin.
There it is. I think that, is this it? Let me listen for a minute. Yeah, this is it. I feel like just playing it, but I'm not going to do that to you, mate. I'm just going to send it. It's 7 minutes and 10 seconds long. And this is 100% Carl Sargon, the righteous ruler of Akkad, the one and only godfather of YouTube and hipsters on the internet. I don't give a fuck what they say about Gavin McGinnis. I love Gavin, but he's not. They're not. They're trying to, as we often do, us Yanks memes, we're trying to strip a rightful title away from a holder of it that just happens to be in the British Isles. And in this case, the godfather of millennials and the godfather of YouTube is Sargon of Akkad, man. Who would even argue that?
I think Sargon of Akkad, the OG, I think his name is up for fair use and it's not copyright by now. What, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 years? I don't know. Maybe they wrote a copyright somewhere.
They will not know in 3,000. This is, of course, we could never make this bet. We won't be here. But in 3,000 years, memes. What do you think about this? Honestly, in 3,000 years, they won't know. If anyone knows of Sargon of Akkad, it will be Carl Benjamin from, isn't that his last name? Carl from, it'll be the Sargon of Akkad that we know. I guarantee you, the original one. In fact, people may even argue it by that point. What do you want to bet?
Well, people will remember for the sheer fact of, oh, that's a cool name. Where'd your name come from? And it's like, oh, it was an ancient Akkadian emperor. It's like, oh, I only knew of you. That's cool, man. It'll become one of those facts that may supplant other things, because it's like you look at the old Tibetan good luck charm. Well, post 1940s, it really wasn't much of a good luck charm anymore. It became a little bit more offensive.
Well, people don't. I think we put too much stock in the present moment memes, and what I mean by that is a lot of people don't stop to realize that if you look at Moses, the Judeo-Christian figure, whether or not you believe he's real, if you look at the time he allegedly lived, and then you look at our time, the pyramids were we're halfway. They were 2,000 years old when he was there, and now they're 4,000 years old. You dig it? I mean, when we think about the stretch of time and how much things change in by the Earth standards, a very small amount of time, fuck, we put a lot of stock in our present moment, mate.
Well, that's the thing, man, dude. We used to build great big things over like massive periods of time. Cathedrals back in the day that would take 300 years to complete. I mean, people would start on them knowing that they would never get to see it completed. Their children would work on it knowing that they wouldn't even see it completed. And then maybe another generation or so down the line, you got to see this just amazing form of like human architecture and ingenuity for the time. And it's, I don't know. We always we seem to look at the bottom line very often, which, I mean, I get it. I get it. If you're looking to build something, if Donald Trump is looking to go out there and build a hotel, he's not going out there saying, I'm going to spend $400 million on this and then hopefully lose $800 million. That only happened once in Atlantic City, and a lot of folks made the same mistake, but he was able to write it off, and it wasn't even his money, which he got away with. I guess that makes him smart.
Well, many other things other than that make him smart, but I don't want you to glaze over this. You do get the concept. Look, in 1980, man, the race battle thing was coming to an end. In the 90s, it was over. There were white people using I'm not going to just do it gratuitously now. I don't need to, but there were white people then using the N-word, and nobody cared. And I mean, there was all kinds of things going on, and the race thing seemed to be at an end, man. Then the Y2K, time rolled forward. By 2010, weird shit started being resurrected because it's like 20 years went by and nobody hates each other because, you know, you're a honky or you're a nigger or you're a kike and you're a wop. It was like it was over. It really felt like it was over. I lived through these years. I can tell you, it felt like it was over. And then they resurrected.
Dude, that's pretty much all I ever knew, because right around kindergarten, like, the wall was coming down and stuff in Germany, and you're like, I
we
guess
all love each other.
Things are good. Oh, look, hey, the Pledge of Allegiance and everything. And it's like, oh yeah, we're colorblind and stuff like that. At least that's what folks said. And you know what? As long as that was your lived experience, that was your lived experience. It wasn't necessarily everybody's lived experience. I mean, there are other folks that can absolutely attest to that, because we each have our own unique life experience, man.
Because there was racist bastards on both sides too, Meme. So when you say it's not life experience, it's not a very concise way to say that it's some white people were prejudiced against, you know, blacks prejudiced, hurt them because they were white, and some blacks were hurt, but it was so rare, and both sides seemed to chastise. And the people that did it were like some old timer. I don't know how else to say it. It was dead. This thing has been resurrected, Memes. There is no other way to say it. And if you're old enough to remember the Berlin Wall, if you're old enough to remember in 1988, I believe, it might have been 89, I think it's 88, Ronald Reagan saying, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, then you know what I'm saying is true. Did you not have any black kids or Mexican kids or some kind of other kid in your class when you went to school?
I mean, that probably really wasn't something that I actively.
And that's fine if you
really
didn't. I'm not trying to call you out that way.
Maybe earlier on in middle school and not so much. I mean, it depends on where you go, man. The folks come from the communities that they represent within there. And it just kind of goes back to, I don't know, man. It seemed like it was kind of, yeah, no, I take that away, because like the 90s, like that, you see all the 90s movies, all these shows and everything. Did aside from the towers, was it the sheer fact that we really hadn't seemed to have a completely like all-out world war or for like a number of years, or is this the large hadron collider?
It's funny that you mentioned the towers, because this is my hypothesis. This really is, and I've mentioned Occam's razor. This is my simplest solution to this question. When 9/11 happened, people started questioning, you know, who should be here. What should we do about security? A lot of people started listening to the Hegelian dialectic, this problem. And they were given the reaction. They were like, yes, give us TSA and all this shit now that we just think is here. Like you're young enough. You said you remember that. You're young. You probably don't remember. I remember my dad and I went to the airport.
I don't actually remember, because I remember learning the number 0 when we were doing 1990 and the year change, because we hadn't actually covered it yet in class.
And it's okay. So let me just, because I don't want to dwell on this too much, but here's the point, James. Once that happened, once 9/11 happened and people started to think about these things, the globalists realized that I mean, you look at a map of Agenda 21, there's a yellow band right at the border where Trump wants to build his wall. I'm not shitting you, mate. You can't make it up. Look at the fucking maps before Trump was ever president. Look at them when I first started looking was when Alex Jones put out the movie Endgame, the documentary Endgame. And I started looking at this corridor that they shut down in Texas. They shut this fucker down. It would have made NAFTA look like fucking Candyland, man. This would have just made Canada, I almost said Canada, because that's what I used to say. It would have made Canada, Mexico, and America. We would have been making decisions together that could not be made alone. Why is that horrible, you idiots? Because this is America. Diplomacy ends at the water's edge. And if we want to make a decision without you, Mexico, without you, Canada, fuck you. Same with you now. Fuck us. I mean, I want them to have a Brexit, okay, because they voted for it, because I have many of my friends over there want the Brexit. But honestly, memes, fuck me. So the point.
Mr. Ogre, I'm not going to argue over the sovereignty.
We started going toward nationalism, and when the tower fell, when you were a young man, when you felt so patriotic, and we were going to all these crazy proxy wars, boom, drop the hammer, Islamophobia, intersectional feminism, microaggressions. I was going to school at the tail end of this in college, and we still laughed and mocked. It was like, you're here for gender studies? I'm a psychologist. I mean, so now it's a joke. I hate to say it. Now go ahead. I've talked for a while. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When the elite New World Order, the Rosicrucian, Masonic agenda, whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati, the whole 9 yards that has their whole deal with the entertainment, just making mock of it, making you believe that when they seen that nationalism and loving your country was going to affect that yellow line right in between America and Mexico, and was going to fuck up their new world order and pushing us into tiny, congested cities and taking my ability to go and shoot my own game. I did it today, memes. Because I get sick of people calling me a liar. I went and hunted rabbits one night, and it was very quick, and I've been called a liar for years over that. Fuck you, cocksuckers. I did, and I'll do it again as I did today. And anyone that would try to stop me, I will hunt you.
Up until the hunt you part, that was a really good shoot for the Macho Man.
I do got big, fat, stubby fingers, right? Let me tell you something, brother. You got to do that, right?
You toss on the do-rag, the sunglasses, and you just crank it up to 11, man.
Ooh, that was better than I could ever do with the voice. But you got to have the tape too on the fingers. You got to have the tape, my brother. Tight, anyway.
Oh, it keeps your body from falling apart. It has a double use. It also kind of looks cool sometimes.
But I wasn't joking. I would hunt anyone that would tell me I couldn't hunt. I'd hunt them like a dog. I'd fucking string them up in the street if they wanted to take my freedoms. As long as the community was behind me, I wouldn't want to lynch them. I would want to try them as treasonous bastards that would steal freedoms from somebody and then hang them like the dogs they were.
I'm not necessarily sure wanting that is a crime, because I believe that's a crime of thought, which is not a violation of the NAP. Actually, Mr. Ogre, you know where your argument actually goes. Your argument goes into a particular argument that, for some folks that you may not agree with, that's very interesting. Duly noted. But while I'm not going to argue about the sovereignty of a nation state, here's the thing, man. The United States, we have the right to contract. So if we're going to take part in a contract like the new NAFTA, whatever, NAFTA 2.0, TRAFTA, Trump NAFTA, whatever the hell you want to call it, if we're going to sign that, and that gives us the ability to do better, and even if it was another deal, for us to actually make decisions to help benefit each one of us, it's like, this particular product, you know what? We don't really have a lot of jobs over here anyway. This is something that's been being phased out. This is an industry that could be budding for Mexico and stuff. Dude, I mean, the Chinese are doing this over in Africa right now. They're busy investing money. And that's one of the things that got me. I'm like, you got over freaking 1 billion people on a continent where we haven't nearly tapped the potential out of it. I mean, part of me worries that, well, there's a lot of exotic species. There's a lot of beautiful stuff out there. We might destroy it, but I'm like, well.
They don't care over there. And I mean, I'll tell you one thing about China. Everybody remembers, Japan went over there and took them over twice. And Japan, they even had a little saying. They were like, well, they're the elephant, of course, and they're huge. But what if a million flies bite the elephant? It kills, you know what I mean? That's what they would say too. What if a million flies bite the elephant? And the Chinese or the Japanese twice. But that was a long time ago. And they were fighting all the time in between each other. They're different provinces. Right now, they're pretty unified. There's a bunch of them. Their technologies, because they stole it from us, is great. No, it's time we should probably think. And people
they're smart people. They're smart people.
Very smart.
Well over 1 billion
very
people,
smart, man.
And you have a president for life.
We used to mock shit and say, "Oh, that's Jap junk," and now it's like, "Oh, it's Chinese." And Chinese, as it was in the '80s, I remember what Japanese was synonymous with junk. Now, Japanese car, is that synonymous with junk memes? No. And Chinese will not be synonymous with junk in another 15 years. They sell us junk and we buy it like the fucking moron American fat bloated idiots that the world portrays us as.
I was going to buy their stuff. I thought about setting up a vape shop a couple of years ago, man.
Why not?
Into that. I'm like, hold on. As long as I order at least 1,000 units at a time, I can get for this price. So I'm
man,
all right, my full starter kit I can get for less than $20 shipped per unit. I'm like, all right, I see these retail all the time for $60.
Yeah, I go to vape shops. That's a really a good racket. You should have got into that if you could have.
Nah,
the one guy I know, Dean up here in Sanford, Michigan. Oh man, he's a fucking tightwad. I mean, I go in there, I'll get a bunch of shit together and try to make a deal, because I get the glass tubes for making extracts and shit. And he won't do it. He won't give you fucking 10%. And I ask every time. I don't give a shit. I know he don't like me, but I don't really have a choice to go anywhere else here. If I went somewhere else where I could get a cheaper price, I drove 80 miles one way.
Were you being rude and belligerent to Dean?
Oh, fuck no, man.
Okay, well, then
he's rude. He's rude and belligerent. The cocksucker smokes cigarettes, chain smokes them in his building. And then, but if you light a cigarette, because I asked him once, I was like, buy me a cigarette. I don't smoke much, but I like them. And he gave me one. I lit up. He's like, you can't smoke in here. He had a fucking Winston going, cocksucker. I'm not even kidding. You can't make that up.
Oh, well, it's okay for the owner to do it, but if anyone else sees you do it, then they'd have the right to do it.
And I said his name, Dean. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Prankster Lock Crank call his fucking dumbass. that would be funny. He could get a rise out of this guy. Believe it. He could. That would be bold.
That would be a good fictional story, of course, Mr. Ogre.
Oh no, I'll do it. He last time I was on his show, he called the hardware store up the road about 13 miles. He was like, you want a different number? I got a phone book. He's like, call the hardware store. Sanford
as long as you're not ordering food and not paying for it.
Oh no.
Because then you're wasting it.
His joke was too smart for the people, and he thought I said Stanford when I said Sanford. So he was asking about the school, Stanford College. He was asking about the school and where he could get his books with this really fucking weird. I don't know if you know who Prankster Lock is, but he does crank phone calls. I love him.
Is he listed on the Southern Poverty Law Center's website?
Maybe. For a long time, his profile picture, he was like this. So maybe I don't know. Doesn't that mean you're KKK? You're racist, right? Oh, you do know him. Good. Yeah, he is. He's good and he's wise. All right, memes. Well, I think I did it. Let me look at how long I've been on now, because I might not have been 20 minutes just now. Very provocative. Thanks, sir. I think there were a couple people. They've came and gone. We're back down to 4 folks, though, so we're about ready to tell them to go fuck off and leave ourselves. But you did what you always do. You come on. It was very provocative. It was intelligent conversation. What more could we ask of each other? Even if we never disagree, you and I or anyone else, I mean, we can only ask that we would have intelligent, provocative conversation and respect each other in the end. It's kind of like if I feel like this kind of intelligent conversation is kind of like a one-night stand. And when you see me again, don't give me funny looks. So we fucked once. It's no big deal. We can still be friends.
Sometimes you just gotta know how to take some licks and just keep on trucking, man.
You really do. I mean, that's the truth, right? It is the truth. I don't.
Only one thing certain in life, and that's uncertainty.
Mm. Yeah, and that's true. A lot of people say death and taxes, but that's not a certainty.
Yeah, I tried to join them back in the day.
You can get your taxes remanded. Death is a certainty, but
oh no, I was talking about the World of Warcraft guild.
Yeah, I don't know. You blew me away with that because I'm telling you, you and I are right. I was getting out of high school when you were going into school. I think that's about the right way to look at it. And so when you were talking about that, I mean, I'm thinking, as I said, Dungeons and Dragons, but you were coming up in a time where you didn't need a dungeon master. You had a computer did it for you. I feel like you got robbed, memes.
No, I still managed to get in a solid 10-year campaign. So
you would have never been a 70 level mage or wizard.
Oh
never.
no, I again, you're confuzzling games there, Mr. Ogre. That was for World of Warcraft, which is an electronic game. I understand. It's a good way to ad hom me without actually ad homing me. It's
oh no, I wasn't trying to do that. I really wasn't either. Honest to God, I wasn't. I was saying that I feel like you missed out. Have you ever played where you sit down with someone that has sat down and thought out an adventure for you, written like dungeons with grafting paper and
the maps,
traps in the room?
Yeah.
You have,
well,
then you haven't missed out. That's better than the video games. That's all I was saying.
No, that's why I thought you were making that as a joke because no, I thought you knew that. My bad.
I've never played World of Warcraft. I think maybe it's because I'm missing that element. I like games like Far Cry 4 and
I can see that. I can see World of Warcraft. As long as you're playing with it, to be fair, if you didn't have TeamSpeak or something, if you didn't have some voice over IP and chatting with folks you enjoy playing with, it's not fun. That's the thing. And that's how
my nephews play the hell out of it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you enjoy the folks you play with and you're okay at the game, or you at least enjoy playing, that was the thing. Once it got kind of boring and just repetitive, it's like, and a lot of folks left. It's like, you're not having fun anymore. You want to get the hell out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell, my cousins, they've been playing. I'm thinking back to 2002. It's been a long time when I first seen WoW, and I wasn't. I mean, when it first came out,
I'd rather play D&D, man.
I would
in there because you're actually using your mind and stuff. And it was funny because one of my DMs, he happened to be a much more progressive gentleman, went to the University of Burlington. And now that I think about some of our early adventures, we're in a dungeon and there's a fucking minotaur somewhere on the loose. And we're just going through. My buddy's a ranger. He's just kind of mapping it out. We're in the dungeon. It's like, shit, which way do we go? We're always lost. It's like, well, when in doubt, go left. I wonder if it was a veiled liberal reference.
Yes. Well, it's been 100 minutes. I feel like I'm imposing. Why don't we, I don't know. You know all the rules. Take as long as you want. Take as long as you want.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ogre, for this opportunity to be on here this afternoon. But as soon as you start talking about Mr. Benjamin, that got me thinking. And when I got thinking, I went back to the clip that they were reviewing, and I had heard him use some of these words before, and I'm like, oh, this is probably why Gabby and some other folks weren't always the biggest fans of me saying some of these things, because other folks will eventually say them. And I'm sure he's been saying it for a while. And it's, to be fair, it's like, all right, whatever mimetic you want to take, it's like, it's going to go out there. There's going to be just a communication pattern between you, folks around you, folks that view you, depending on how public you are, depending on what happens with your life. It's like, you can do whatever the hell you want. But when this gets out there, that's why I really got to believe most folks are good people, because when I say my words, I'm like, all right, if someone wants to take it, as long as it's going in a positive fashion, I mean, I think it could go well. I mean, it could go horribly wrong too, but it's a change. It's a change in the meta. It's a break in the meta. At this point, man, we live in a universe where Donald Trump is the president of the United States. And we can't change that fact. That is the history of our freaking country, man. This is where we are. This is who we are. And you know what? Got to take a Nietzschean response here and be like, well, took everything to get us here, and that's what we got. Got to roll with it, brother.
Man, I think that was my signal. I'm not sure. I tell you what, it makes me think of Idiocracy with President Camacho, you know, one time porn star and champion of the WWC, you know, Hector. It's like Donald Trump comes out. It's very similar.
I mean, we're really not that far off from that, are we?
No,
I mean, he did give Vince a clothesline from hell. I give him an extra 2 points for that.
Yeah. So I'm not just going to piggyback. That was so funny when you said that. That's the first thing I thought about. I could see like, dude, man, driving out in his car with a big dildo on the front. And yeah, it's so close, man. And we don't. So here's where I'm going to go with it. Okay, if you don't want to think this Ileana Mumbatu from Somalia up in many assholes Minnesota isn't a problem, fine. You know, and if you want to think that Ocasio occasional cortex isn't a problem, hey man, you know what I mean? Hey, look, you can do what you want to do. You eat that government meat. I'm gonna shoot doves and rip the breasts out with my bare hands. I might get a little bloody, it'll wash right off, but I won't eat all that shit that you do when you put Tyson chicken in your mouth. It makes me think of a comedian once that talked about sucking Satan's cock. I mean, why would you choose to do something like this? Why would you ever say, okay, I'm going to advertise for Coca-Cola? What? Well, why don't you just suck Satan's cock? And look, I want to make mention, I'm not making that joke up. This is an old one. It's just something that's an observation I never forgot. And then the problem is when you're not sucking Satan's cock, i.e., eating the government meat and just swallowing the government line, hook, line, and sinker, why they call you evil. They say you're the devil. When you do what's right, but you got a little bit of gore on your hands, everybody hates you. They want to hang you. Want to end your life. They call you evil. When you do what's right and you get other people killed, but they can't see the blood right on your hands, oh, it's okay. Let's go to war in Syria. Fuck, Trump's an asshole for pulling out. I know I'm saying this again, but I can't say it enough. We have too many war hawks right now. We have too many human beings in the United States that eat meat and don't have any problem with cows living in shitty situations and chickens living in horrible situations. And then they butcher them with machines, and they have people that are illegal aliens because no one else will fucking do it, even for $30 an hour. Because believe it or not, being a butcher is not the most, look it up if you don't believe me. Please look this up. Being a butcher is not the most dangerous job in the United States. In fact, it's rarely on the top 10 list. As police officer and soldier never are. So don't tell me they're fucking heroes. You want to know who's heroes? Truck drivers, crab fishermen, and loggers, you cocksucking idiots. But I digress. But even though they're not the most dangerous, they're always one of the most hazardous. And the people that engage in butchering animals for a living have the largest risk for long-term injuries. Look it up, as I said now 3 times. If you don't believe me, we give glory to assholes that make up laws for us to follow, like senators and Ocasio-Cortez's and Chuck Schumer. And who's that asshole from South Carolina that they made a big deal about because he stood up for Brett Kavanaugh? I can't think of his fucking Lindsey Graham. I don't say he's a hero. He's a fucking neocon. He is a trampler of your rights. And I don't feel bad, memes. I'm just going to go for a couple minutes, but I told you to take as long as you want. I'm going to take as long as I want. Look, you believe in your head that you're right because you're a conservative or you're right wing. You're fucking idiot. You believe in your head you're right because you're a left wing. You're an idiot. You are idiots. It's right, left, march forward. The machine of the New World Order trampling you with both feet, with both wings. It does not matter. What? So we don't have a monarchy? Yes, you do. They just got 2 different wings. You had somebody elected a moron that said we're going to take back all 3 chambers of government, the presidency, the House, and the Senate. And she actually said something different and then corrected herself with what I just said. That is how idiocracy, folks. Why? Because, and I say it again, why? Because she got big tits. That is the ugliest woman I've ever seen. I could be 20 beers drunk. I'd make her stop blowing me. That is a horrific. Look at them teeth anyway. It looks like a fucking salad shooter. Her teeth look like a garbage disposal. I wouldn't put it in there. And yeah, I digress again. So here's my final word. If you believe that there is a legislator that can legislate themselves out of a land war in Asia, you're a moron. Wake up, little soldier. Get up, Johnny. It's time to fucking think for yourself. If you support a law that says a drug should be illegal, you're a fool. Don't tell me about meth is terrible. So what? So is Oxycontin, but they give that shit away. Don't tell me about it. Love freedom or hate freedom, and be good to your friends, be good to your family members, be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, your family, your loved one has done seems to be so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because constant viewers, memes of destruction at a time you think not. Your friends, your family members, your loved ones, your life, and every last vice you have will be snatched from you by some Puritanian fucking moron.